what I wanted to talk about today was product market fit. It's an interesting concept. Theoretically, everybody understands that when your product or your service is just right for your target customer, that's when you've achieved product market fit. But since at any given time, any business is making some revenue, that is, somebody is paying for those services, it's very hard to know when this fit has not happened and what will it look like if it's happened. So how it's actually defined is that if your market, you start with the market, is such and you've identified it as such that it needs a product similar to what you're making, then the exact product or service the market will pull out of your company because that's how strong the need will be. So, how it's put across is that you can feel it when it isn't happening. So, yes, you are getting revenue, but your customers aren't getting that much value out of the product. They are not becoming advocates. The word of mouth isn't spreading like wildfire. Your usage is growing, or your revenue is growing, but it's growing slowly. Your sales cycle sometimes takes too long. Some deals never close. That's what it feels like when the product market fit is not perfectly there. And when it's perfectly there, people are buying it just as fast as you can make it. There are waiting lists, there are order volumes. As soon as you can add service, people are buying more service from you. Money's piling up, you can't hire people fast enough, so that's when you have actually achieved product market fit. Now, what is the advantage of achieving product market fit? So, Mridul, if you can. Yeah. So one, obviously, growth is faster because you don't have to invest as much time and effort on attracting customers because that part is kind of taking care of itself. You found a product, say Google in the early days, one person uses it, they recommend it to everybody. So you don't have to spend that kind of money on marketing and it kind of takes care of itself. Second, customer acquisition cost is very low. So you're essentially, and it keeps dropping because with more and more people knowing about it, you're able to quickly, so your next batch sells out, for example, in half the time as the previous batch, and so on. Third, because your customers are loyal, they're happy, you get repeat business as well as you get advocacy that they're recommending it to new people and newer people are coming in. You've never even marketed to that audience. You're getting queries from places which you'd never done any marketing or anything. And lastly, yes, it gives you a lot of ability to scale. It's not a given that with product market fit you will necessarily scale. There are a lot of challenges. You need to have a lot of systems and processes in place. But yes, you have a tailwind in that demand is taking care of itself. And unless either you have a competitor who comes in and executes faster and better than you and gives that service to the better than you, or you're not able to kind of take care of the supply side, then scaling becomes much easy because the demand part is taken care of, which is a big part in any business. Moving on. So, yeah. So this is one question I wanted to ask. Has anybody heard of any of these companies, Audio or Bourbon? Um, please raise your
Oh,
hand.
no.
Heard of bourbon?
Heard of Bourbon? So, Audio was started by Evan Williams, and it started essentially as a place where you could. So, Bourbon was started by Kevin System. It started as a check-in service, and you could check in wherever you are, and you can plan events with other people. Very quickly, they realized it's not working. It went through a couple of iterations. It is now called Instagram, and Audio was started by Evan Williams, and it evolved into Twitter. So again, the model initially was very, very different. It had nothing to do with messaging. It was a very different kind of service, which allows users to interact. YouTube started as a video dating platform. Netflix was a place to buy DVDs, and when Amazon entered, they said, "Okay, we'll start renting out DVDs." They had no idea of content, online content, creating your own series. So the idea of product market fit is that if you are you can move away from your original idea when you see a better opportunity, because you're seeing that, okay, in this space, it's not that we're not surviving. Yes, we're surviving. Yes, we're doing okay, but this is not the kind of opportunity which it could be like really, really large, or it would have a product market fit where it would just make sense. Like Bourbon in 3 years did not have as many users as Instagram got in their first month after they pivoted. So pivoting is essential to reaching product market fit. Um, as a side take, we started with concierge and food, and then we shut it down because we didn't get that kind of traction there, which we're seeing with events. Next, this thing. So what are the steps to get to product market fit? The first thing is you don't start with product or service. Otherwise you get married too much into, okay, this is what I am selling. It is not important what you think you're selling. What's important is what people really want. So it starts always with a focus on market. You have to identify your underserved customer needs. And how do you identify who is called a customer? So essentially anybody with their hair on fire is a customer. When I say hair on fire, that means that essentially this is the most important need for somebody. It could be B2B, it could be for an organization, or it could be an individual. But imagine somebody whose hair is on fire. At that time, all their other needs are secondary. Food, shelter, getting somewhere, transportation, nothing is as important. First thing is I need to put out the fire on my head. So for that, they will take any product or any service at any cost. Price sensitivity goes out of the window, quality goes out of the window. At that, if once you have that, you come up with a minimal viable product, which is okay, something which you can use. So an ideal product to put out fire on your hair would be an extinguisher or a water bottle or a water hose. But at that time, even if you give somebody a brick, they will literally hit their head with a brick to put out that fire. So that is what product market fit looks like, that you have found a place where anything is being used just to, because they want some solution for that problem that they have. So when people are in this kind of a situation where they're even using a brick that you're selling, and then you are able to take feedback, that's the next step, that okay, yes, you're getting revenue from them, but you're getting a lot of feedback from them. Then you kind of incorporate that feedback and you iterate, and you eventually reach a product which is so great. Plus, it has a market need which is so dire. So you have achieved product market fit. So, like I keep saying, Google or these things are a perfect example, right? People were willing to use any search engine. There was nothing anywhere close, and then obviously it gets better and better with time. And next one. So, how does a graph of a business which has achieved product market fit look? So, there are different variations of this. So, like if you look at the first one, it shows the MVP stage where there is slow growth. Then you have a problem solution fit. Like I'm saying, this is a brick people have started using. Okay, at least you get some solution. And then in the pink zone, you've achieved product market fit. And as soon as that inflection point happens, your growth kind of takes off. And there are various iterations to this graph, but essentially they show the same thing, that you have a slow initial traction. Yes, you are growing, but you're still discovering that product market fit. And when you have kind of achieved this, then it kind of takes off. It is counterintuitive, because most businesses, as you get bigger, your percentage rate of growth actually slows down. But in product market fit, if you're able to achieve it, when you do achieve it, your growth actually takes off many fold. And lastly, yeah, that was a slide. The last slide is from personal experience. So this is when we started experiences in November, December. We were able to sell some tickets. We pivoted from concierge because we saw that while people were engaging and buying, but it was not, people were not crazy about it. And but we saw a very high open rate for experiences that are happening in the weekend, and we got a good initial traction. And when we have kind of now figured out what exactly is happening, in fact, this number has crossed 100 this month. Now we're at a situation where the events being sold out, we're getting inundated on Instagram, expats writing mails saying my card didn't work, but please hold a seat, this, that. People are just like, please somehow. We had an event day before yesterday where it got sold out. We were saying it's sold out to everybody. We forgot to close book my show for one day, and that itself took it to like 20 seats. We have to 28. So like the minute you switch on any tap, and the demand is just flowing. So that's what product market fit looks like in the real world, and that's the presentation. If anybody has any